sweat's out. Yeah, it's burning in here. Here we go. 4, 2, and 3. A quick pick. Beautiful. Let me tuck it in a little bit. I got a couple extra pounds on me right now. I just ate like 4 quesadillas, some pizza, a couple eggs. Nice. You're making me hungry already. I just weighed in. I'm under 200 pounds right now. Nice. Okay. In December, I was about 188. So. Oh, wow. Just gives you a little perspective on how much I've been eating. Fluctuating. Yeah. Yeah. I've definitely been gone up in weight a little bit too, so I got to make sure and maintain somewhere around 180-ish. What's the heaviest you've ever been? Back when I was drinking heavy, I think I was about 212, 215. Okay. So we're not going to try. We're not going to get into that area, but trying to cut a little bit down for. Probably stay under 190 is where I like to be. Nice. Yeah, because you're sticking around the 195 weight class. Yeah, 195. That's where I was. But I might want to go a little bit lower than that next time. Yeah. Truthfully. Up in Vegas. Yeah. Well, just in general, going under 195. Only because I feel like everybody cuts down to 195. Mm-hmm. So, and I walk around normally 185-ish. Mm-hmm. So I'm really going up fighting those guys. So realistically, if I can go back down to 185 and stay there, I'd be happy with it. Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm 185, and I'm gonna do compete at 195 in June. Yeah. You're gonna do the World League? World League one? The one at Mullet? Yeah. Yes. Sweet. Yep. Oh yeah. Yeah, I switched it. I remember I signed up for the one out in Mesa before I realized that there was one in Tempe. Yeah. A much better location. I like it. We don't have to drive, an hour out there. You doing World League they did the same day. Yeah. I haven't signed up yet, but the plan is to do that. Yeah. So, But yeah, they were on the same day, or they are, June 21st. Yeah. Which is weird. Which kind of sucks. Going to split up a lot of the competitors, which is annoying, but true. We'll see. Yeah, the guy who helps organize that was just on Alex Martinez's podcast. That organizes the World League one. Okay. Yeah, and he was explaining like it's nothing to do, like they're not trying to compete or anything. Like these venues, like it's just the dates are very limited on when they can do them. It's kind of like it's not like they get to pick whatever day. You know, it's kind of like there's a very small window of when they can organize the tournament. So he wasn't trying to Craig Jones the situation then, right? Exactly. Yeah. 100%. Yeah. So. Well, Jiu-Jitsu World Leagues, I think that's a good tournament. I'll stick with them for a little while. Yeah. I agree. Above all else. So. Yeah. Boom. Well, let's get an intro. Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Banya. Today we've got Coach Josh Beno with us. Welcome, sir. Welcome. Thanks for having me. This is fun. To my left, as usual, is Dana Lundquist. And we're excited to be here with Coach Josh. Been waiting for this one for a while. Yeah. Yeah. So Josh is a brown belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, as a yoga instructor. He's coaching at Aries PV, as well as another gym you just started coaching at as well. What's the name of that gym? That's Fortify Fight Club over there, 99th Avenue in Bell. Cool. Good little spot. Nice. You doing specifically jiu-jitsu over there? Yeah, Nogi Jiu-Jitsu. Okay. Yeah, it's a nice little program. Looking to build it up over there. And, what are the cross streets? 99th Avenue in Bell. Oh, okay. So over there, out there by Proving Ground, and the gym's out there too. So way out west. Nice. Yeah. Well, welcome. Thank you. Yeah, glad to be here. Yeah, man, it's awesome. And you're teaching yoga at a few different places, right? Yeah, I've been at Mountainside Fitness for probably 3 years now. Love teaching over there, as far as being inclusive to all sorts of different body types, and you meet really great people there too. So I teach over at Fortify Fight Club, and also Saturday mornings 9 a.m. over at Aries Paradise Valley. So yeah, we're staying busy for sure. That's good. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I liked the fight that the owner of Mountainside put up during COVID. That was fun to watch.
Yeah.
He was very vocal on pushing back against them closing gyms and stuff like that.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, staying open.
I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, obviously he's pretty well off dude, so he was it was cool to have. I mean, important to have those type of people step up for everybody and do what they can. So
absolutely,
I was cheering on that guy.
Yeah, me too. They did put the spaces, like they have little numbers, so we have to make sure to put our mats on the numbers, which it gets kind of hectic at times because if you have more than 30 people that want to take your class, they're going to have to wait for the next one or get on a wait list, and some people don't like that. So but ultimately it's better than nothing, especially at that time during COVID, because I mean, they were open, they still did the damn thing. You know?
Yeah, absolutely,
for sure. So what came first in your journeys, yoga or jiu-jitsu?
It was jiu-jitsu. It all came kind of full circle, pretty much on how and why I started coaching or teaching. But it was primarily because of jiu-jitsu, right? So I was training at a spot that's no longer open called Allied Jiu-Jitsu. And the coach over there noticed that I was doing all sorts of yoga, kind of like warming up myself and trying to work towards different postures. And he's like, hey, so if you end up getting certified for that and you want to do it more, I'll let you teach some of the classes here.
Oh, nice.
And I was like, whoa, that would be kind of cool. So I thought about it, and I've been trying to get out of automotive for probably 10 years now, it seems. But
were you a mechanic?
Yeah, been working on cars for probably about 15 years now.
Okay.
So
you still do that a little bit?
Yep, still have a full-time job doing that on top of coaching jiu-jitsu and teaching yoga.
You're a busy guy then.
Yeah. So try to stay motivated, try to stay busy. But yeah, so I ended up getting certified from there. Went in, and then the gym shut down. As soon as I got certified, and then
was that just prior to COVID, or was it what was the reason it shut down?
I believe it was a couple of people wanted to go different ways. So it kind of split into two different gyms, and it created a beautiful thing. It created one space on a different side of town and the other, and they're both great gyms to train
Oh,
in.
nice.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, and ultimately I ended up teaching yoga for them a little bit, Aries Peoria, for a little while as well. So, but yeah, and then I would do a few open mats with John Cabay, and man, that guy's a blessing. He's given me more opportunity than anybody really, And he hit me up one day, said, "Hey, do you want to teach a yoga program?" I said, "Yeah, absolutely, let's go." So that was my in towards teaching yoga in a jiu-jitsu academy, and everything kind of spiraled down or uphill from there.
It's the good spiral.
The good spiral, yes.
And you were doing every other week for a little while, and because there was like a mobility or a kettlebell class kind of on and off.
Yep.
And then we just went full time every week doing yoga, right?
Yep, which is good. It's definitely better on the body if you do yoga more, right? Yeah. So, I mean, once or twice a month is okay, but you're not going to get the same benefits out of it if you don't do it like consistently, right? So at least once a week for us, that's good to go, I'd say.
Yeah, dude, I've noticed, so metes is warm-ups, you've been through those.
Yep.
So even just the 10 minutes with that every day before jiu-jitsu has been just game changer for me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I feel my body opening up, my hips, everything. So
yeah,
it's my favorite way to warm up now. And like I came from a more like, wrestler style, like Vinny, run around, like somersaults and all that shit, But
absolutely.
this is my new my new favorite way.
I like doing it as well because I can feel the imbalances in my body, right? If I can be really open on one side, but notice how tight I am on the other, I'm like, oh, now I have a place where I need to work and spend a little bit more time on,
Right.
showing myself a little love in that way, But yes, ultimately, Mateus, the way that he warms everybody up, I love it too.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's good how you point out to notice the difference in one side versus another, because we don't necessarily recognize that a lot. Like when we're drilling, you'll recognize me like, oh, this is my bad side. Okay, why is it the bad side? Is it a flexibility thing? Is it just competency of that side because you only work the other one? But it's cool when you're going through the yoga class and you're like, notice the difference in your left to your right side, and if there is a difference, just that awareness to think about and puts it in our head to do so.
Yeah, because ultimately that practice is just for you. You're supposed to be there and be present on the mat, right? And a lot of times if you're doing it right, it zeroes out everything that's going on around you. So all the stress, all the negativity, you're able to come in on the mat and just focus on what's truly important, and that kindness that you should be showing to yourself, right? Being able to observe those imbalances, that's beautiful. Like you said, like not everybody knows how to do that, and that's one part of yoga that I absolutely fell in love with,
Yeah, that's just the first step, is just the awareness of it and recognizing, oh, I got to think about, is there an imbalance first? Because you don't think about it. Like maybe if you're lifting weights, you're like, oh, my right side's a little bit stronger or whatever, but you don't really think about it. Or most people don't, at least I don't. So having that awareness to think about it's great. Just somebody to guide through it too, to point it out, like, hey, how is your elbow strength? How is your balance on this side changed? So,
absolutely. Yeah.
What do you enjoy more, the role of teacher or student?
I'm forever a student, always be. I don't think that just because I'm coaching or teaching that I am above the whole learning thing, because I'm always learning. In order to grow personally and for other people, I have to always remain that student. Right. So I love learning. I love adding new things into, new flows, right? New ways to get into postures. But in the jiu-jitsu aspect of it, I love learning new things just to kind of try and, let's say, beat the opponent that I'm going after, right? Because it's kind of like, it's a personal satisfaction when I'm working on something that's difficult, right? And I actually hit the sweep or I hit the submission. I have a sense of accomplishment there. And I wouldn't be able to do that if I just was able to just coach and teach, right? I always got to be learning.
Yeah. There's certain people, and it's nothing right or wrong about it, like that have just like the role of coach and teacher is just such a natural fit for them, versus I think what I'm hearing from you is student is your maybe primary motivation. And I mean, you're a competitor too. Like you're pretty driven to compete and get out there and improve your jiu-jitsu on that level, versus solely focusing more on just imparting your wisdom for other people. But what is it that drives you to compete so much?
Truthfully, for my daughter, I want to stay healthy. I want to stay active, but also be able to utilize the things that I can in, say, a real world scenario, right? Because that competition, that gives you that fast paced kind of skill that you need to have if something were to happen out on the streets.
Right.
Right. So if I'm out in the street somewhere and with my daughter and something were to happen, I'll have a little bit more confidence and to be able to protect her in the way that I need to. Whereas some people, I mean, you get the people that see red, but you also get the people that kind of shut down under certain circumstances. And I don't want to be either one of those. I want to be calm and precise in whatever I'm doing or whatever scenario that comes up. So yeah, I'd say a lot of my drive to do what I do, it specifically stems from my daughter, Aria.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
When you get to show her what it takes to work hard, and I think we've talked about this a little bit, where she's wanted to compete more because you are, and when she's excited to compete, you're like, well, I got to get out there and compete too. It's kind of, a snowball effect for both of you, which is great to see.
Absolutely. Yeah, no. And that's also what drives me to learn more as a student, because now when she was born, well, a little bit into it because I didn't start jiu-jitsu until she was probably like 2 or 3. But I wanted to be able to show her things in order for her own self-protection, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she was super shy at the very beginning. Like she wouldn't talk to anybody. Even when she doesn't know anybody, she is still kind of shy, right?
Mm-hmm.
But once we and I'm kind of the same way too, to where if I don't really know you, it's not that I have a grudge towards you, I just don't really know what to say because I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
But she was that way. She wouldn't even step on the mat.
Mm-hmm.
But I kept on bringing her into jiu-jitsu, never forced it on her, because I feel like when you force things on people, they kind of steer away from it.
Mm-hmm.
They start to resent it in a way. So I would always bring her in to train, and she started hanging out with all the kids, running around, and Allied, I brought it up earlier, was big on that because they had a lot of kids there, and they would run around, have a big toy chest full of toys, and play around, and then it would come time to where the kids would go on the mat, and my daughter would just look and be like, well, I was just having fun with them. How come I can't go out there?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, you can go out there, but when you're ready,
Mm-hmm.
So it slowly built up to the point where now, I mean, I feel she has more confidence in a tournament than I do at times,
Mm-hmm.
Which is beautiful, because when I first started competing, I was looking out at the crowd. I'm like, oh my God. And then I got this huge adrenaline dump and I couldn't do anything. Whereas I'm like, where did you get that from? Did you get it from your mom? Like, what is it? Like, that confidence that she has is pretty
awesome.
cool.
Yeah. Well, she's watching you. Even if you're feeling that on the inside, maybe the outside you're calm, cool and composed, and she's like, oh, okay, that's how we got to be.
Well, yeah, and also a big aspect of that too is I know everybody loves to win, but I feel like losing is a huge thing that I would like to show her too, because I want to win and lose in the same aspect. Meaning, like, I want to act the same.
Yeah.
I don't want to sit there and be all upset and frown. We lose. Losing is a part of the game and how we get better, right? So if I handle my losses the same way as I handle my wins, and she sees that, then that's huge in general for her as an adult, regardless if she's in jiu-jitsu or not, right? So, yeah.
Absolutely.
Awesome. I've got a different problem with my daughter. When I lost in Vegas, she just started making fun of me right away.
Yeah, Aria talks shit too. She in different ways.
Damn, okay.
Yeah.
Whoa.
That's awesome though.
Yeah, no, it's funny.
So what ended up like driving you to jiu-jitsu to start in the first place? So put yourself back as a white belt. Like, it's kind of hard now being a brown belt, of course.
Oh no, I remember that
Okay.
real clear.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I started roughly about 2015. So I started at a no-gi specific place, TNT MMA, and I went in there after my boxing gym they just disappeared. I think they went under, my buddy hit me up. He's like, hey, well, I know you love your boxing, but come over here, try this jiu-jitsu thing out, and I'm like, yeah, we'll check it out, So I get in there, and they were literally using me as a mop on the mat, just smashing me. I got beat up over there, and I left after the second or third day or so upset. And I'm like, well, maybe I could just beat their ass and blah, blah, blah. But realistically, they just beat my ass.
Right.
So there's nothing that I can do about it besides get better, keep learning, right? And the only way that I'm going to be able to beat them is if I keep showing up, right? And eventually, I mean, I've broken toes, fingers, had my jaw dislocated, many different things along the way. And whatever it is, man, I'm addicted to it. And I didn't quit. And here I am at a brown belt. And I had no idea like I was even going to make it to blue.
Yeah.
So it's been an incredible journey.
Oh, yeah, absolutely it is.
Yeah. I set out to, so it was kind of crazy because I competed at white belt probably 6 or 7 different times.
Okay.
Lost every one of them except my last one.
Okay.
And I was about to be promoted to my blue belt by John Crouch at the time at the MMA lab.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, hey, I know you signed up for this tournament, but I want to give you your blue belt. And we can wait until after the tournament, or I can give it to you now, but you have to register as a blue belt.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, well, I don't have any gold medals as white belt, and I want to make sure that I get a gold medal in every single belt that I attain.
Yeah.
So he's like, okay, do your best, regardless of the situation, regardless of the outcome, I'll give you your blue belt after.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. And I went out there and I got my gold medal. And I think like a week later, he ended up giving me the blue belt. And I was like, yes. So that's been a trend of mine that ever since, from white belt and on now. So
that's good.
Was that your favorite belt to get so far? What's been the most memorable? And
truthfully, each belt. I mean, it's fun to get promoted, but it's also great to experience the journey and the things that you go through within each belt themselves. Mm-hmm. So like white belt, I had so many memories that are vivid, but there are also many different memories as blue belt. Like I went out Nogi Worlds in 2018 as a blue belt when Gordon Ryan fought Cyborg back at like same place, same time. And like, I think he was going on when I ended up losing that match, but I could feel the match just vibrating because of all the people in there. Mm-hmm. And just that experience alone, I'll never forget it, So, each belt holds a specific part of my journey. And honestly, I couldn't tell you which one that I was grateful for more, you know?
That's cool. Yeah, and that's good to like have that mindset of wanting to get a gold or compete at every level at the very least. Let's say just compete at every level for anybody listening. Like, get out there and see what you're made of at white belt. Don't wait until you're blue belt. Get out there and see what you can do.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter if you win or you lose. Like I said earlier, it's just all a part of the journey. Mm-hmm. And you go back onto the mat, onto the training mat, like just eager to figure out the mistakes that you made or capitalize on some certain things, and go back out there and try it again.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Those are the scariest dudes, the ones that don't quit, that are not afraid to put it on the line, risk it, lose it, get right back on it.
Absolutely.
Those like in wrestling, like the hardest matches were usually redheads, to be honest. They just they had this like fiery thing in them where like every single point was a scrap. It didn't like you could be up 10 points on them and they just not giving up.
Just not giving up.
Just fucking full coming at you. Cause like a lot of people will break. Like if you get up, by a healthy barging on them, they're just, you feel their soul break.
Absolutely.
The guys that like ultimately do well are the dudes that just don't stop coming.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You got to cook them.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Even if you're getting cooked, you don't stop.
Yeah. Right.
Just keep going. And like that attitude, eventually you're going to be the guy winning,
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. I think I
lose up front a lot, and then one day it's gonna flip.
I saw a reel or something like that to where I think one of the New Wave guys was competing, and he came over after the match, and it was kind of like a close decision, but he went down on his knees and he was just gasping, and Gordon and Danaher were like, no, stand up, mm-hmm. because just that posture will show the refs like, hey, no, he didn't. He's still ready, Yep. He doesn't look gassed because in an aspect, like they could use that to your opponent's advantage, right?
Even subconsciously, like maybe the ref's not actually thinking about it, but if he sees one guy who's not as up and ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
Like even in the middle of the match, you know, they'll call it or like got to retire belts and whatever. Like, get up, show that you're not tired at all. I've never thought about that, but that may subconsciously change the ref's decision if it comes down to it, a 0-0 or 2-2 or whatever. It's a tie.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a good point.
And your opponent, like him staring across the mat and seeing you not breaking, like that, like, because like a lot of times, and I've experienced this where like you've laid it on a guy, like you've put everything you got on them, and they're still not broken, and like they're standing up straight, they're breathing through their nose, like they're looking good. That's terrifying sometimes.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? Like, oh shit, this dude's a beast, you know?
Right. But deep down inside, he's just ready to go.
Right.
You know what I mean?
He's that close to quitting too, but he's just not showing it.
It's that mental toughness, that mental fortitude that really can bring you to that next step. Because I think, I'm not sure if you guys have said it before, but your body will break before your mind does.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So just, I mean, maybe dig deep, figure out why you're actually there, why you're doing it.
Hold on. I got to push back a little bit. You say your body will break before your mind does. Yes. However, I think most people's mind breaks before they allow their body to.
Yep.
You see it like
absolutely.
You need to push yourself more. So
that does happen, but ideally, what is possible is your mind hangs in longer than your body.
Yeah.
Is what Beno's saying.
Correct.
Yeah. And you have to train your mind to go there, right?
Well, and I know it's an extreme example, but like guys like David Goggins, like his body's literally breaking down in the middle of these ultra marathons where it's like a relay marathon, but he's doing it only him, where other people are doing in a relay, like these 24-hour races.
Yeah.
And his mind is just so strong. And he's like, I don't care if my knees are, there's no cartilage left. I'm just going through it, because the mind can actually overcome even when the body starts to break. It's like, nope, I'm not quitting.
Yeah. And sometimes you need that mind to get you to that next spot. Maybe it'll get an extra point or an advantage in a jiu-jitsu match and you win.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think it's very crucial to kind of work on that aspect.
Absolutely.
All right, well, on brand. Luke is ready for that cold plunge, so let's take a little break.
Yeah.
Let's get it.
All right.
The body's breaking.
This episode of the Banya is brought to you by Optimize. Optimize is a health and wellness center run by Jesse Meringue, a fellow training partner of ours. They've got amazing center. They've got your cold plunge, your sauna, the infrared, the hot tub, compression therapy, as well as this PEMF therapy. It's like pulse electromagnetic field. It's amazing. Feels crazy, like you get that electrostim. But the idea is you've got a time in there for an hour to switch between different therapies. You can go from the sauna to the cold plunge to the hot tub. Feels amazing. Luke and I just did that last week, and absolutely, it was incredible. So if you're looking to recover from any sort of athletics or just to feel better, go check out Optimize. And for anybody, the listeners, if you just tell them you heard it on the Banya, they'll give you 50% off your first session. So I believe normally it's $39 for the first session for an hour, so it'll be half that. So go check them out. It's an amazing place.
All right, I gotta ask Beno. So this Friday, the Choke Vinny event is happening again.
That's this Friday?
That's this Friday.
Okay.
Is that the
comedy show?
Thing?
Yep.
Yeah.
Can you make it?
I don't think I can make it.
Why not?
That 5:30 class is kind of hard to hit. So
why is that?
I got to work first thing in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, otherwise I'd join you guys because I keep hearing about how badass your guys' crew is in the morning. So
yeah, it's pretty fun, dude.
Yeah, definitely got to get in on that one of these days.
Next time you get a day off or whatever, you'll have to swing through.
Take a PTO day or something like that, maybe.
Exactly.
What about you guys? You ready for that comedy? What is it, 1 minute?
Oh, yeah, dude, I'm ready.
Yeah.
You got minutes on minutes. I have nothing. I don't think I'll partake in this one. I'll just I'll watch.
You're not going to put your... Dude, what's up with that?
I don't have quite the comedy mind. I don't know. I'm sure
I'm sure you can think of something.
Yeah, I could think of something.
Maybe I flipped that switch. Like, I mean, I don't... I don't know if I'm particularly funny, but like it's just trying.
Yeah.
You know? Like you gotta just lean into it, dude.
Go out there, just wing it.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
All right, we'll see then. I'll see if
What
I can put
about
something
Lyle?
together.
Is Lyle gonna be out there?
So we gotta get
yeah.
Lyle. Lyle would be hilarious.
Yeah.
So we
Gotta
gotta
come.
get him up at 5:30 to get him there first.
Right.
But that'd be awesome if Lyle could.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's funny though, like some people who you think would be funny because they're like naturally funny, like they're like when they get up in the joke format, they like bomb. You know?
Yeah. Well, I mean that's common. I think the nerves really take away from what the mind is trying to do.
Yeah,
you know,
right.
I can relate with that with yoga specifically. My first class at Mountainside, I was sitting in my truck. I'm like, you know what? I don't need to do this. You know, I went through all my 200-hour certification training. And I was like, I don't need to. And something in me I'm like, all right, let's go. I literally had to push myself out there. There was a lady that was walking by me. I said, hey, this is my first class. Like, I'm kind of nervous. She's like, okay, just take your time. Do what you need to do, you know? At the end of the class, she says, I would have thought you taught for years with how great you did. I'm like,
awesome.
Oh, okay, cool. So, in a sense, that taught me to face my fears, right? Because we tend to make a bigger deal out of them than they actually are. And at the end of that, I started to gain a little bit more confidence. And then I went to the next class, gained a little bit more. And now I'm right where I'm at now, you know, and I feel like I've learned and grown so much just as a teacher within the practice. And I'm forever grateful for that, you know. And if I didn't face that fear and push myself to where I was terrified to go to, like, I wouldn't be where I'm at now. I wouldn't be coaching at Aries PV. You know what I mean? Like,
for sure,
none of this would have happened
Right.
if I didn't face that fear that I came across. You know?
Yeah, there's like different like shades of ego where like I think most people think of ego as being like kind of like you're too like good for something, or like, you know what I mean, in that, but in other ways it's like there's like that doubt side of it too, where like
true self-sabotage kind of thing,
that like that's part of it as well, where it's like you're letting go of the fear portion of like your ego and just like, all right, fuck it, like let's
go.
like just like doesn't matter, or like not caring is part of it.
Once the nerves go away and the confidence kind of sets in, I mean, I think you can speak truly from the heart there, and that's where it just kind of gets super smooth, right? But yeah, ultimately great experience, great journey. Maybe you got to do that. Just face that fear.
I know.
For that comedy special.
I gotta put some material together.
You should get like mechanical with it first.
Yeah.
So like just like, all right, set up, punchline. Like you gotta like understanding the format of how to write a joke. Just like literally like read it, like Google it, like, all right, how to write a joke type of thing, and then just do one. It'll probably suck, but just like go through that process of like, all right, here's the setup, and then boom, punchline.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I hear you're supposed to say stuff that nobody really expects you to say.
Yes.
Right? And that's what kind of makes it funny. Like, oh shit, he really said that?
Yeah. So like, well, like when the punchline is obvious from the setup, that it's not funny.
Yeah.
Okay,
so that's what you're talking about. So basically like, the punchline has to be a sneaky punch.
Yeah.
So you're talking about whatever to set it up, but like if people are listening to the setup and they know exactly where you're going with it,
then
that's
like,
not going to be funny.
Yeah. I could see that.
It has to kind of blindside them.
Gotcha. Now I want to go just to listen to you. Yeah. I want to see what you got to say.
Well, we may have to record this one.
Yes. Yeah. We for sure do.
Yeah. We didn't record the last one.
Yeah. Yeah, we were all a little bit nervous of like how, everyone's feelings were gonna be. Dude, everybody was so good. It was rad. Truthfully, I don't think anybody, had feelings hurt or like felt like, there was a will, because it's all like everything was like coming from a place of love. Like even like Josh got it the hardest. Big Josh.
Oh really?
Oh yeah.
Gotcha.
he's missing a toe. You know, he's a bigger dude. Like he was, he was like low hanging fruit for like the
you
roast
guys just
jokes.
roasted him.
Well, yeah, most people like a lot of people did roast jokes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably just stick to. I mean, that's fun too. I think we do that at work all the time too. Just talk shit to everybody. That you make the time go by faster.
Yeah.
You know, but I think I would. There's certain situations throughout life that I'm like, what are they doing? You know, like that, and I could possibly make a joke out of that, but you never know.
No, the funniest jokes are the roasts because like but like the more artistic, harder thing to do is to like write a joke that has nothing to do with anybody in there.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What about like crowd work? Would you say that's a little bit more difficult?
Like anybody play off of something anybody said? I don't know if anybody did that. That's a whole other skill for sure. Yeah. But like nobody in the crowd was like saying anything.
Didn't get any hecklers or anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I feel like back in the day when I would drink, I could do it all day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just crack jokes and just roast everybody, you know. But
it's a fun skill set. But yeah, that's what's cool about that morning session too. Like the whole crew, like kind of just like a bunch of shit talking going on.
Yeah,
like, for fun though. You know, it's all everybody's loves each other there. So
Tuesday, Thursday night, Nogi, Jordan's pretty much on par with that same thing.
Yeah.
You know, because all we kind of do is just kind of talk shit, and it's great fun, honestly, because we learn and we're having a good time all while we do it. So
yeah, no, it's the best way to do it. And like, I always like the relationships that like you can, like our little chat group or whatever, like where you can really lay into somebody and like say like hurtful true things about them, and then still it's like you laugh about it and it's fun. Like those are the best relationships.
Oh
like,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like you have to be able to be comfortable with people making fun of you.
True.
Like,
absolutely.
If
a little bit
you
of a thick skin.
If you can't handle that, like, you're not for me for sure.
Right. Yeah, no, I get that. So. No, that's cool though. You said it's this Friday?
Yeah. This Friday, yeah.
Cool.
This Friday. So we do like turn on the disco lights. We do an open mat for an hour. And the last half hour is the comedy show.
Ah, beautiful.
Yeah, it's fun. I want to get.
I forgot it was this Friday. Yeah.
You know who I want to ask if he'll come. Who's the musician in our group?
Ricky.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
See if like Ricky and his band would.
That would be awesome.
Would be fun,
Maybe we'll pay him to come. And like have a little bit of live music going on during it.
That'd be fun.
Like hit some.
We might have to shift that to a Friday night open mat.
Yeah, go to the Dubliner.
And 6 a.m. I don't know.
The musician types they probably wouldn't be into that.
Be cool.
But yeah, have you my favorite thing is so have you ever listened to Kill Tony podcast?
Not as much, but I have.
Okay,
yes.
So that William Montgomery guy.
Okay.
So like he's the live band, and so he's like he'll scream something and then they'll go. Psst.
Yeah.
You notice that they'll hit the cymbals or whatever. It's the best.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I think they just had one out on Netflix, not too.
Yeah, that one wasn't the best.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, it was like you could tell it was kind of like, I don't know if it was like Netflix nerves or like they dialed it back a little bit, but it wasn't like the gritty, grimy, like.
Because they've been doing that live show for like probably 10 years
across
different comedy show venues.
My buddy, he said something, and I have to agree with him now that I've like listened to pretty much the whole catalog. But like the time when they were at the Vulcan, or not Vulcan, what's the club they were at before they moved to Rogan's?
I don't know.
I think it's the Vulcan.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, those were the best shows because it's kind of like that place was like a shithole. It was kind of like had this like unpolished, gritty little feel to it, you know?
Nice. Yeah.
Versus like the Netflix thing, you know, is like the kind of polished up,
True.
a little bit more produced version. I guess,
Gotcha.
if you will.
Yeah, it's more produced now, for sure.
Yeah.
It's good. It's hilarious.
Yeah, no, it's still super funny. That Hans Kim guy kills me.
Yeah.
Super funny.
Yeah, I got to catch back up on a few of those episodes.
Yeah.
Take it.
Yeah, no, they're good.
So you were talking a minute ago with your Jordan and the Tuesday, Thursday nights. So you've been coaching now our Nogi for probably, 4 or 5 months?
Quite a while, yeah. Took over for Drew. I love it, man. The great group of people coming in. You come in every once in a while.
Mhm.
Glad to have you there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And truthfully, it's been driving me to do a lot more Nogi tournaments too.
Yeah.
So now everything that I'm kind of setting myself up for, it's all Nogi
Yeah.
from here on out. Yeah.
Yeah. How was that like? Because you would fill in for some coaching every once in a while. But you didn't have like a steady like class like Tuesday, Thursday now.
Mm-hmm.
How's that been going and having like a steady jiu-jitsu class? Because you weren't really coaching a whole lot anywhere else, right?
No, it was just specifically at Aries PV.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's a little bit more difficult now because I have to structure technique as opposed to when I sub or fill in for somebody. I can just go, over whatever, you know. But now, like I've been doing a lot of side studies basically off of John Donaher and Gordon Ryan. I got Lachlan Giles. Like I'm going through not only everything that I'm learning in class when I do train, but like I'm constantly studying. I'm constantly being that student.
Yeah.
I actually keep meaning that as Vinny and Mateus is, but like, does like Kabe feed you guys like, all right, let's do this week, or you know, let's get into.
Yeah, he actually sent me something recently. Has a whole login thing based off of a certain curriculum, especially for the kids, that we can kind of dive into and look back on. But naturally, he kind of just lets it flow. You know what I mean? Yeah. So
yeah, that's got to be cool. I mean, I'd be curious to see who you're competing against that is also coaching versus who is just purely a student. Because I would imagine, like you're saying, like you're studying all the time. So you're really dialing in a lot of specific technique based on having to be able to teach it. You've got to really have everything pretty well, like fine, and every little movement is, you know, it has to be much more fine tuned because you're teaching somebody else to do it.
Yep.
So yeah, I guess I'd be curious to see the difference in competitors, but just how you feel and how dialed in your jiu-jitsu is.
I think I noticed that at Purple Belt.
Yeah.
Only because you do have to fine tune the little things. You do have to go over those specific details. And when you're just a student and you don't have any ideas to say teach or coach or anything like that, like you kind of miss a couple of steps.
Yeah.
And here I don't have that option. But once I realized that, hey, I'm going over, I'm teaching these things here and there, my game got so much better. My pressure got better. The way that I moved got a little bit better. You know, and I noticed that a lot in as Purple Belt.
Yeah.
Brown Belt, it's a different story. I've had 3 matches, competition matches so far at Brown. I've lost every one of them, which I'm not ashamed to say it either, because that's where I learned.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and you went out and you immediately competed at Brown Belt as soon as you got it, like 2 weeks later or something like that. So
first Brown Belt was a super fight.
Yeah.
So that was fun. But everything that guy gave me, I think I'm a little bit better now.
Yeah.
Not saying that I would win against him now, because that guy was a great opponent, you know what I mean? But I think I would be a little bit better now.
Yeah.
You know, just based off of the certain things that he did to me, like that body lock whenever you have your butterfly hooks, right? I really feel like I need to get the underhooks there a little bit more, because then I can elevate him up with my hooks a little bit. Where if he's got that body lock underneath the waist, there's no way I'm going to be able to lift his hips up.
Right.
So just fine-tuning those little details has just been phenomenal for my game.
Yeah. Well, I would imagine so, as well as with being a kids coach. So much of what they're learning is fundamental stuff. So really super dialing in all the fundamental moves and positions and everything really helps a lot. I was talking to Kabe a couple weeks ago, and he was saying something about like somebody talking about how the Americana doesn't really work anymore at a brown black belt level. And he's like, I have to disagree. You know, it's just done at a black belt level. Maybe you don't see it as much, but it works just as well when it's finely tuned in to that position.
Yeah, but also you got to that if you're doing it at a black belt level, you need to do it at a black belt pace. All right, if you're just learning, even for me as a brown belt, if I'm just learning something as like right off the bat, I'm taking myself and putting myself back at like a white belt level because I haven't drilled it. I haven't done the reps enough to be at that brown belt level with the technique. Now, for maybe side control and different fundamental things like that, yes, maybe I might be at that brown belt level. But if I learn something from, say, Mateus or an instructional or something, I'm still at white belt level. I'll try that same exact technique at an open mat somewhere and just completely get shut down with it. But then I'll keep working it and go back to the same open mat the following week, and I'm that much better with it. Because I just keep those repetitions up. You know what I mean? So, ultimately, just keep training.
Yeah, absolutely. I felt that this weekend. I went to Proving Ground yesterday and had a great roll with somebody who I've trained with since I was a white belt. Never at the same gym. His gym is Proving Ground, but he's always been a level above me, and it's cool to be able to maintain that. I guess that level where I'm just slightly below him, but still growing. You can see his level. And the things that I was doing before that weren't working and gotten better at, and instead of getting submitted, almost getting a submission is a cool feeling. And seeing that with somebody I don't train with on a regular basis.
Right. Yeah. That's that observation, that observance. You know what I mean? Same thing with that out of balance, out of thing. You guys are growing together, and if you can observe that, like you're ahead of the game already. Not to mention you're a killer anyways, Dana.
Well, thank you. I mean, I try. I work hard at it. So I know it's you know, for everybody listening, just keep going. You got to keep trying. And I was just thinking a second ago, actually, you can't think that you're not going to beat this person against you. Like, I know there was a time, specifically this one class that Drew was teaching, was a Nogi, and Johnny Tran showed up. And I immediately thought he's going to kick my ass. So it was already in my head, and he noticed it. He's like, you got to stop thinking that. You're already giving up before the fight's even started. It's like, okay.
Right.
So having that mindset for anybody, you know, listening, like, don't expect to lose to this person no matter whether they're a higher belt or not. Go into it thinking, oh, I can beat them. And that changes a lot of it.
Yeah. Or just have an open mind towards everything, right? One of my yoga teacher would always say a clear mind can create conscious decisions. So if you can kind of calm the mind, you can figure out maybe you'll be able to slow him down a little bit to where you can capitalize, right? But if your mind's kind of already in self-doubt, you're shooting yourself in the foot. You know?
So you've competed a lot, obviously. You already said you're going to do World League, right, on the 21st of June. And planning to do Master Worlds and Nogi Worlds this year, right?
Master Worlds and Nogi Worlds, And then, I don't know, I'm a little bit late to the sign up, but I just kind of applied for Arte Suave.
Yeah, that's in like a week and a half, right?
On the 17th. Yeah. So I'm not sure if I'll get a match there. I also put my weight as 190. And like I said at the beginning, I'm a little bit hefty right now. So maybe sitting in this sauna a couple more times will get that weight down.
Absolutely. So what do you do like leading up to a tournament, besides the weight cutting thing, like to get your mind right? What is your 2 weeks prior to a tournament or a competition? What does that look like for you?
Yoga and meditation.
More so than even hard jiu-jitsu rounds? Or what is there?
I mean, a week before a tournament, I like to take a little bit of time off. Right? Just a week, just to get my body back up into full physical shape, right? I don't want to be sore. And I think you said it before, like, I want that itch to actually go to jiu-jitsu, right? Because sometimes that little itch will take you to that next level.
Yeah.
So ultimately, I do yoga almost every day as it is.
Yeah.
But visualization.
Yeah.
I think that's super important. Visualize your hand being raised. And then trying to calm the mind and putting yourself in, like, right there at the tip of the mat, right at the edge of the mat before it's about to start, right? If you put yourself there, then you can start to calm the nerves and you can look back on that, right? So other than kind of just taking it easy the week prior and utilizing that meditation aspect, that's kind of what I do.
Yeah.
So
that's good. I know whenever there's been time that I've had to take time off because of just being super busy or an injury or something, that next open mat that I come back to, I always feel incredible. Like it's a totally different feeling where I'm like fresh. It seems like I don't get tired at all. Even though you're off for, let's say it's 2 weeks, I'm like, oh, I don't know what my condition's going to be like.
Right.
And then you go and you're like, oh, I feel great.
Yeah. You usually dominate because the people that you're going up against have already been training for 3 weeks in a row, right? And your body's a little bit more fresh.
Yeah.
I think that plays a huge role in a lot of it.
Yeah. I want to try and come up with some sort of a blueprint for pre-competition, like, preparedness, basically. So what that looks like, very like regimented here at 2 weeks out. You'll train that whole week, and like you're saying, take some time off. I don't know what that looks like, but I want to try and play with that and figure out what the ideal break should be. Because of course, as we're getting ready, not right now, but say it's towards the end of the summer, it's like July, and you're like, all right, I'm getting ready for Master Worlds. I'm going hard every day, every single round. I'm trying to, beat the other person versus any sort of learning mindset. But at some point, that's got to taper off to, like you said, let your body totally recover. Because we don't realize, you train for a week, 3-4 days in a week. You may feel great on Saturday or Sunday, but you won't feel quite as good as if you took, 5 days off and you go in and train. You're like, oh, that's a totally different feeling.
Yeah. I think, it's all different for everybody because everybody's different, but I probably wouldn't go more than a week off.
Yeah.
Because then I'm not sure what the threshold is, but I wouldn't want to start losing gains as opposed to just healing them.
Yeah.
Right. So, maybe 3 days. Yeah. I go a week, but there's other times where I come in the day before and just flow, kind of feel positions, go over my game plan.
Yeah.
And that's super important too.
Yeah.
Take a week off, then come back in a little bit and just flow, just kind of roll through everything, figure out your game plan and work it from there.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I lost my train of thought. I'm getting hot. Let's do a quick cold plunge, then we'll come back in and wrap it up.
Let's go. And we're back.
All right, we're back. Yeah. Yeah, we got into a lot. It's good to hear how, your competition mindset and, everybody can hear that as well, even though if you don't compete. It's a good mindset you have just for your philosophy of life, it seems like, and just talking to you about everything with your daughter and how much, you want to be an example for her. I know we've talked about this separately, and it's amazing to see. So it's glad to have you at the gym and as one of our coaches and training partners. Is an awesome training partner. So
yeah, thank you guys for having me here and for being so welcoming. Like everybody already knows that Aries PV is just such a warm, kind-hearted place. You know what I mean? And you guys truly make it what it is. You guys also add to my drive to be better because if I can be better for myself, I can be better for you guys, right? And that's super important. So.
Absolutely. Well, before we go, we gotta do the water on the rocks. You gotta feel it. So get
water on the rocks. Let's get
a nice big ladle there and hit all those rocks for us.
All right, let's get it.
Be prepared.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Breathe slow.
Yeah, my pores are open now. That's cool.
Yeah.
But I appreciate you guys. And for those of you listening, just small acts of kindness go a long way. So
sure.
even if you're upset or mad, maybe show a little bit of kindness to yourself, but also show a little bit of kindness to other people too, and see how that energy comes back to you. And maybe it'll bring more light to your day.
Yeah.
Right.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And not even doing it to receive it back. You just do it because it feels good to give that out, and be surprised what does end up coming back to you.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Josh. Appreciate you, man.
See you guys on the mat.
Love you,
See you
brother.
on the mat.